Hey tech enthusiasts, Luna here, and I'm thrilled to welcome you back to another exciting edition of Luna Tech Reviews. Today, we're diving into the world of budget-friendly smartphones, exploring the top contenders that won't break the bank. If you're on the lookout for a device that delivers performance without burning a hole in your pocket, you're in the right place. So, without further ado, let's jump into the best budget phones of 2024. But before we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest tech discoveries. Now let's get started. The best budget phone you can buy is the Samsung Galaxy A14 thanks to a winning combination of good design, excellent battery life, simple software, and at least 4 years of software support to 2027. Day-to-day performance is much improved over 2022's Galaxy A13 with a better chipset, and most tasks tick away nicely with 4GB RAM. As with most cheap phones, you will not be able to fire up demanding mobile games like Call of Duty, but calls, texts, messaging, and video apps, and social media will be absolutely fine. There's only 64GB storage, which is a bit low, but there's a micro SD card slot to expand storage, and you can't really complain when a cheap phone is this good. You can also pay a little more and get a 5G version, which is otherwise identical. If you don't mind a 60Hz display when other budget phones have smoother 90 or 120Hz tech, and you're not fussed about having an outstanding smartphone camera, then the Galaxy A14 is a top choice. The Moto G84 is undoubtedly one of the best budget phones you can buy. The only reason it isn't top is the lackluster software support, with Motorola offering just one Android version update and 3 years of security support. You'll also have to put up with average cameras and a back that's prone to getting dirty, but that's about where the negatives end. The 120Hz OLED display is the finest on any budget phone, while the Snapdragon 695 delivers solid performance and 5G support. Battery life from the 5000 mAh cell is solid, and you even get relatively quick 30-watt charging for a budget phone. If you don't like the look of the Galaxy A14, this is the cheap phone to get. The Moto G23 is another great choice from Moto. Unfortunately, it's not available in the US, though there are many solid Moto phones sold there in the same price range. The G23 looks and feels more expensive than it is, and delivers where it matters. The screen is bright, its main camera will do the job fine, it has loud, clear dual stereo speakers, and it charges at 30 watt with the included charger. It has a dual SIM slot, and storage is expandable via micro SD, though the built-in 128GB storage is very generous for the price. The ultra-wide and macro cameras aren't much cop, there's no 5G support, and the processor is only fast enough to play quite basic mobile games. You won't want to fire up Fortnite on this phone. But if you want an affordable smartphone that nails the basics and is running a nice plain version of Android 13, this is it. The Redmi Note 12 5G costs $320. It's close enough to our upper limit to be included. While a clear step down from the Note 12 Pro and Pro Plus, it's also significantly cheaper. And there's a lot to like here, from solid Snapdragon 4 Generation 1 performance to all-day battery life from the 5000 mAh cell, but the 120Hz OLED display is the real highlight. You wouldn't expect such a cheap phone to have such a great screen. Cameras are a mixed bag, with an impressive selfie lens offset by disappointing rear lenses. The cheap build makes it obvious this is a budget phone, while Xiaomi's MIUI software isn't for everyone. But if you're willing to spend a little more than the usual budget limit, the Note 12 5G offers a lot for your money. However, it's also worth noting that there's a 4G version of the Redmi Note 12, which is even cheaper. If you like the idea of repairing your phone rather than replacing it every few years, the Nokia G22 could be the phone for you. If you can cope with the fact this is quite a slow phone, perhaps you only need one for basic functions like calls and messages in Google Maps, then it's a good buy. iFixit sells several official repair kits for the G22, including for screen cracks and new battery. It means you can grab a smartphone for $210 and be safe in the knowledge you can easily repair it yourself. One thing to note is this phone will only have software support for 2 years, which somewhat contradicts the idea this is a product you should keep for far longer and replace its failing part. That aside, this is an interesting concept, and a budget phone you should consider if you don't need a powerful device. The folks at Realme pulled it out of the bag with the design of the C35, a $180 phone that looks like it costs a lot more. With flat sides taken straight from the latest iPhone playbook and a smart-looking camera module akin to the more expensive OnePlus Nord phones, the C35 also packs in a great 1080p display for the incredibly cheap price. You can even pay some extra to get 128GB storage instead of 64GB, and all models have a micro SD slot and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The processor is nothing to write home about, but the 50-megapixel main camera lens is pretty good on a phone that outperforms its asking price. Even though it was released in 2022, this is still worth considering. Not to be confused with the Poco M4 Pro 5G, this device shrugs off 5G in exchange for some notable upgrades in other areas. The Poco M4 is the first M-series device in Poco history to pack in an AMOLED display, which also happens to support a 90Hz refresh rate and full HD+ resolution. Meanwhile, the 64-megapixel main camera is an impressive improvement for the series, while battery and charging are also solid. The design is a little divisive, and the MIUI software won't be to everyone's tastes, but in terms of value for money, it's a great option. You may also be interested in the Poco M4 Pro 5G. As the name suggests, it adds 5G support, but both were released back in 2021 and 2022, so we're getting a little dated. And there you have it, our roundup of the best budget phones in 2024. I hope this guide helps you find the perfect device to suit your needs without breaking your budget. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow tech enthusiasts. Also, let me know in the comments which budget phone caught your eye, or if there's a hidden gem you think we missed. Stay tuned for more in-depth tech reviews and exciting gadget explorations. This is Luna, signing off for now. Until next time, happy exploring and tech on!